At the Creation Evidence Museum in Glen Rose, Texas, we are examining original artifacts that defy evolutionary theory. We found that leading professors, spokesmen for evolutionary theory, have challenged this notion that man and dinosaur could live contemporaneously, and have stated that if we could show in any era of time that man and dinosaur lived contemporaneously, that would seriously disrupt the conventional interpretation of biological and geological history and strongly favor creation and catastrophe, meaning the creation of the Bible and the catastrophe of the flood. Well, among the original artifacts at the museum is a little terracotta, a pot, a clay pot, dating back to 1200 to the Mississippi Caddo Indians of North America. This was found among other pots in a cache. The amazing thing is that the handle of this particular terracotta pot was made in the likeness of a little juvenile dinosaur, a sauropod dinosaur, a cute little fellow. And notice that the tail swings around, and the flange at the tail indicates that there were juvenile spikes at the end of the tail. Now that's very interesting, because paleontologists have just now learned in the recent excavations that many of the sauropods actually had spikes on their tails, much like Stegosaurus, but even Apatosaurus and other large sauropod dinosaurs. For the juveniles in the audience, the long-necked dinosaurs, most of them had spikes on their tail. Now, in order to so faithfully represent this little dinosaur, 800 years ago, these people had to see a living dinosaur. What does that do for evolutionary theory? It wipes it out, because they have actually challenged the creation movement to prove that man and dinosaur lived contemporaneously, and if so, it would totally devastate the concept of progression of more primitive forms to more sophisticated forms. Actually, all of those forms were created in a single week, just about 6,000 years ago. About 4,500 years ago, there was a flood that wiped out all the dinosaurs except those on the ark and the marine creatures. Thus, we have a plausible concept that can be verified. If man and dinosaur lived contemporaneously, there is no evolutionary interpretation, and there is no plausible interpretation outside the biblical record. Thus, we have scientific verification that seriously challenges evolutionary theory.